So I have a great story for you. I always found this funny. I don't think it's a true story. Who knows? But in any case, a man walks into Microsoft and applies for a job as a janitor. And he goes through the process. They go, okay, everything sounds great. I just need your email address so we can get in touch with you. And the man goes, oh, I don't have an email address. And the guy goes, really? You don't have an email address? And I got to be honest with you. You want to work for a company like Microsoft? Like, we're all about technology. Without an email address, you don't even exist within the company. So I don't think this is going to work out. And the man walks away kind of dejected and upset. And he's really desperate because he needs some money. So he goes to the supermarket and he buys a bunch of strawberries. And he starts going door to door selling strawberries. And his $20 investment, he turns into $60. So the next week he says, you know what? I'm going to get a wheelbarrow. And he goes and he gets a wheelbarrow and he buys more strawberries and he fills the wheelbarrow. And he goes door to door and he sells all those and he makes more money. And pretty soon he's doing so well, he gets a truck. And before you know it, he's got a fleet of trucks. And now he's running one of the most successful produce companies in the country. This guy's doing amazing. But then he realizes, I'm getting older, I have a wife, I have kids, I really need to take care of my finances. So he calls an insurance broker and decides he's going to get a life insurance policy. So he sits down with the broker and they go through all the paperwork. And the broker says, great. He goes, let me just have your email so I can send you everything once it's approved. And the man goes, I don't have an email address. And the broker goes, you're so successful? How are you so successful without an email address? Could you imagine where you would be if you had an email address? And the man looks at him and he goes, yeah, I'd be a janitor at Microsoft. So I don't know if this is a true story. I doubt it is, but it is pretty funny. But the moral of the story, right? So, you know, basically just technology, right? We place such emphasis on technology and not enough on people, right? Like, imagine that. Imagine like, oh, I don't have email, or I don't have a cell phone, or I don't have a smartphone. Do we judge people because of that? I mean, some people just don't want it. Look at our everything that's going on with COVID. Older people having to get used to technology. That's not so easy for them, right? And they just don't want it. So, but the real point I want to try to make is I'm tying this back to being a teen, right? So what makes a person is who they are inside. It's their values, it's their work ethic, it's how they treat others, right? It's not how many likes you get on Instagram or Snapchat. It's not how many likes you get on your TikTok account. Those dopamine hits that you get every time you get a like, that doesn't last. That's just a quick fix, right? But at the end of the day, are you really relying on that? Are those things really defining who you are? And I know there are some teenagers who they define themselves based on how many people like them or their posts. I've seen people put up beautiful posts and take them down because they didn't get enough likes, which is really shameful to the people who actually enjoyed the post and got something from it, right? You never know who you're going to impact. So social media and technology, yes, they help us, but guess what? There'll be different technology and different social media down the road. Like what we're used to now will be gone and there'll be something else. But what doesn't change is who you are, your values, what defines you, how you treat others, how hard you work, your ethics. That's what defines you. All this other stuff, they're just distractions. And yes, they can be really good and really beneficial, but at the end of the day, if you rely on those to define who you are, you're heading down a bad path. So look at technology for what it is, but it's what's in here and what's in here that defines you, right? Your heart and your mind. So just keep that in mind, especially if you're a teenager, because I know how much social media plays an important part of your life, but it's not as important as you think it is. Have an awesome day.